Hello, Chris. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Yeah. Okay. See. All right. No, sir. I don't know.
Okay. How you doing, Chris? Hodovino Devil's Digest. Just talk about you personally. After going through spring practice, and luckily it was a full spring practice to going right now to fall camp. I mean, just for you, personally, your communication with the players and just everything you're trying to install as far as philosophy. Does it seem like it's going on much smoother now than it did the first few days of spring practice?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think you constantly are learning. This is my first time at the college level, so I just embrace it every day. Learn. We have a lot of great minds in our defensive room, so I'm soaking up as much game as I can every day and trying to decipher it and get it to the players so they can play at a high level.
Yeah, Coach Michael Carson, I believe in Pac-12 football. Do you? I mean, I know obviously through the spring and now, but in this first week now, how do you feel that the chemistry and the communication is with all three levels of the defense so far?
I think the thing is about depth, right? I think the ones is a really good bunch, right? And the thing that we're trying to develop is depth. I'm trying to create as much depth at my position as I can. A kid that's shown great improvement has been Will Schaefer, and today moved him up, and he did a really good job. So I think that's the goal every day is to get 1% better. And I think in building as much depth in that defense as we can, especially at the linebacker position.
Chris Stegholler with The Athletic. Darian has really slimmed down. Just how has that helped him? What have you noticed just through these first 3 days of practice?
I think it just helps with your stamina, right? Your recovery. And I think those guys are just serious about having the opportunity to play in the NFL. So I think they've done everything they need to do in the offseason to get themselves prepared. Blessed to have that unit, inherit that unit, honestly, veteran group, and they're doing a great job of leading.
Chris Carmen, Son of a Source. Chris, the tone setting of those guys, Butler, Robertson, Kyle Soelle, is that going to your expectation, and what does that provide to the rest of the group?
Well, you got to try to establish your identity, right? And I think I tell them all the time to be the best. You got to be the best at home first. Then you got to expand out, right? Each game you get a chance to expand out in the region and say that you're the best group. And I try to make sure that we establish that. That was always been my mindset. And I think we have the guys to do that. And again, it's about the younger guys pushing the older guys too, right? Let's not just get hung up on the older guys. I think you get these younger guys, Ed Gentry, Will Schaefer, those guys pushing, Connor Soelle pushing to play will only make the other guys be more accountable every play.
Chris, I know he's not in your room, but what does Jermaine Lole mean to just the overall defense?
Oh man, I had the pleasure of coaching Jermaine when I was at Long Beach Poly. So he's a player that's going to make plays, right? And great pass rusher. Just looking forward to him just maximizing his talent this year. I think him playing at a high level, man. He deserves it. So I'm really rooting for him.
And just one more thing, Darian was talking about this a little bit. What does having two backs like Diamante and Rashad White, how does that help the linebacker group facing those guys?
Every day. I mean, those dudes are good. Those dudes are real good. And I think in order to be good, it's the best. You want to always go against the best, right? Those are the two best probably running backs in the conference, I'll say. And if we can go and compete with them every day, we're gonna get better, right? And at the end of the day, you want to constantly raise your level. So I think as long as we have those guys in practice and we're going at each other, whether it's one-on-ones, inside run, passing game, we're going to get better. So it's great.
Chris, obviously, when you line up in the nickel defense as a whole, it's probably necessitated more by the offense that you're going to face on that Saturday. Mm-hmm. But is there something to be said that also there's a comfort level when you talk about veteran linebackers that we know you can line up in nickel, that you're not really giving up anything in the linebacker report?
Yeah, I think that we can line even in some base against some people's nickels. So I think that's the strength of it, right? And that's, again, creating more depth for us, having those guys be able to help play against 11 personnel or people that run a more open spread offense. Yes.
Chris, you mentioned Will Schaefer, young player. What about newcomer Williams or maybe Gentry coming from the spring to now?
Yeah, the two young guys, man, they're coming along. Williams, fast player. just learning the game, continuing to learn the game and allowing it to slow down. But I think, I mean, again, the sky's the limit as far as talent for those guys. They just got to keep learning. We have a defense where you got to learn, you make adjustments, but once you do that, you can play really, really fast, like you see Butler and Soelle and Merlin do.
Do you have any idea? I know you guys chart a lot of things, but during the spring, how many balls Gentry knocked down at the line of scrimmage?
I don't know, probably, handful, 5, 6 times. At the line, he's a problem. You know what I mean? He's a problem at the line, and coach is just using him, also allowing him to do some pass rush and stuff today. He did that today, so that was good for him. And it's just making him a more versatile, make the defense more versatile. You have a guy that can drop, rush, and has length like that. I mean, you just added another package probably to the defense eventually, whenever that will happen.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
So, Jeremy just texted and said we're going to try to bring Kyle. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah.
Not yet.
Yes, Ms. Scott. Question?
Hi, Kyle Hunter, being a Devil's Digest. Everybody's talking about there's no way to overstate the experience of this defense, and just even compared to last year, because obviously, you were still experienced back then too. Do you feel that 2021 feels different from 2020 just in terms of the level of experience and just the way players are carrying themselves out in the practice field?
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone's holding themselves accountable. I also think that everyone's playing with more confidence. We've seen a lot, being older groups, so I think that's going to help us in the long run.
Kyle, Michael Harrison of League Basketball Football. Do you feel it too that, obviously it's been talked about the experience, everybody coming back on the defense, but just these first few practices into fall practice, how do you feel the communication and the chemistry is with all three levels so far?
Yeah, we've had a lot of reps together, so I think that's shown. Like I said, the confidence, the unity all together. We know where everyone's going to be. We know, if someone's checked something, what that means. The experience all together, it's just going to help us.
Kyle, Zach Keenan, Devil's Digest in the back. You got another SAG U win, Will Schaefer, the linebacker crew. You feel like you got a pipeline going?
Yeah, a little bit. We got my brother as well, and then Will Schaefer. There's three of us in that room. Hopefully we get more SAG U products. Looking forward to their season this year. And Coach Mon's got a good program over there. I'm looking forward to watching those guys.
So Kyle, when we talk about confidence, the fact that you were named captain last year, how much did you see just being named captain change you on and off the field?
Honestly, not much. Just because you're a captain doesn't mean, you're the only leaders on the team. Evan Fields is a leader. Jack Jones is a leader. DeAndre Pierce is a leader. Merlin's a leader. We have tons of leader on the team. Just because the C's on the chest doesn't mean you're the only leader on the team. So we'll all just hold each other accountable, and we're just going to keep going with that throughout the season.
Hey, Kyle, Chris Carmen, son of a source. Just wanted to ask about the role of film in preparing and being your best, not just understanding your scheme, but the opponent and what you're going up against on a week-to-week basis. And especially now that you've played against a lot of these Pac-12 teams a bunch, the benefit of that and it explaining to all the younger guys how much value there is in trying to understand what's coming and why.
Yeah, film's a huge part of what we do here. Having NFL experience, with the coaching staff, they break down everything in the film room, and it just makes the game easier. It allows you to play faster. So we're really thankful for that, and it's something we take a huge huge importance on, and we're going to focus on that a lot this season and continue to teach the young guys on how to study film and how to, be able to use that to be faster and how to play with the different leverages and stuff. So we're excited.
And Kyle, how do you feel? I mean, a lot of the young guys obviously came in for the spring, but how do you feel that their development now, actually linebacker wise, from the spring until now, with your guys' tutelage, like you're saying, but how do you feel the young guys have come along?
They come along well. I think you can see the development of their bodies, since the off season, and it seems like they're just playing a lot faster. You can see the confidence. They're learning the scheme, and when you learn the scheme, everything becomes more natural. So excited to see those guys continue to develop, and looking forward to seeing them get reps this season.
So Kyle, you being at ASU wasn't the only reason why Connor came to play over here, but probably a big reason too. And I know that both you and Connor envision, what it would be like to team up again now on the college level. I mean, now that you've been a couple of years together on the same team, Connor's getting a lot of second team reps. Has it been everything that both of you guys thought it would be?
Yeah, we have a lot of in-house goals for this program and ourselves. So I'm looking to build on those, and we're going to continue to keep working towards them.
What kind of expectations do you think are reasonable for the defense this year, just given that everybody's back? You guys probably could have or should have won most of your games last year. How do you sort of put that all into perspective?
The expectation is simple: just be the best in the nation and to win every game that we can.
Just the physical development that you've had on your journey at ASU, and also your brother now as he's transitioned to linebacker, it's a huge difference from when you got here to now. Can you just walk through what that's been like, seeing it with yourself, and also how that impacts the way you play?
Yeah, the body development, I believe, is just a slow process. I think if you were to ask Coach Joe and his staff, they'd probably say the same. They've kind of laid the blueprint, and I've just followed what they said to do, and put the time in every day and just get 1% better every day. It's something I take to heart. The weight room, I feel, is a big translation to how you play on the field. And I'm looking forward to using everything I've worked on for this year.
How does that help? Like, having the right leverage, just everything that you do out there.
Yeah, speed. It helps with that. Your cuts, coming out of your cuts helps with that. Strength, taking on blocks helps with that. All the way around. If you develop yourself in the weight room, it's going to help you night and day on the field.
Yeah. Just playing with Darian and Merlin for this long, what does that feel like? And your conversations about what you guys are trying to do this year?
Yeah, you can't substitute the experience we all have and the unity we have together. I feel like with us three on the field, anything can happen, and really we just know how to work together. We know what each other are thinking, and it helps all together. I mean, their experience is wonderful, and we all just play together as one.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.